So, you want to homeschool.
The snob life. The homeschooling life.
The boss life.
The non-traditional life.
The family life.
Telling it how it is. Life outside the box.
And if you don't know what that means,
It's the non-traditional mommy.
baby.
Hey family, it's Danielle. Happy Juneteenth, you guys. Hasn't this been like the best Juneteenth? Well, for me, because it has never been globally recognized to the degree that it has been recognized this year. And so that just makes me feel like, yay, finally, our holiday is getting the recognition and the celebration and the praise and the excitement that it deserves. So, yay for Freedom Day. So today, you guys, I want to talk about homeschooling. It's Sunday, so we're going to have a little Sunday school chat and talk about homeschooling. I am here to talk to you about some things to consider now that you want to homeschool. But before we jump into this video, if you're new here, hi, my name is Danielle and I am the non-traditional mommy. And on this channel, we talk about homeschooling, marriage, and along with other things. So if any of that interests you, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and join my little family. To the rest of my family, you are the MVPs and I love you guys bunches. Now, let's talk about the idea of you wanting to homeschool. So I did a video very similar to this that I will put a link up here and in the description box in regards to some things to consider before homeschooling. And so I'm sure this video will probably repeat some of those things, but in this video, I just wanted to talk about the things that no one talks about when you say you want to homeschool. The warnings that people tend to leave out when talking about homeschooling. Let's jump right in. So, you want to homeschool. Prepare yourself to have your kids 24/7, 365 days of the year. I want you to really let that sink in, especially if your child has been off at public school for the last few years, or in a mommy's day out program, or in pre-K or wherever. If you've had an extended period of time away from your child and that time has become your precious time or your me time or your downtime or whatever time, you can take that time and throw it in the trash because moving forward, you will have your children 24/7, 365 days of the year. Now, of course, there's camps, co-ops, grandparents, aunties, friends' houses, sleepovers, and all other different kinds of things that you can find to enroll your child in, to put them in, to take them to, and things like that. However, there is no Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day, they're gone, you know you have that time kind of situation. It is very different from that. So that's the number one thing. Prepare yourself to have your kids all the time. So you want to homeschool? Are you prepared to walk around with this aching, nagging feeling of guilt? Are you ready for that? As a new homeschooler, we moms tend to feel this little thing of guilt that just lingers in our throat in the very beginning of homeschooling. Feeling guilty like our kids are missing out on something. Feeling guilty that we're not doing enough. Feeling guilty that there are days where we want to pull our hair out. Feeling guilty that there are days that we want to send our kids to school. Feeling guilty that we didn't get every single thing on our checklist done. All of these things elicit guilt. And so you kind of in the beginning walk around with just this little tiny tinge of guilt. It just sits in your throat. Or sometimes it sits on your shoulders and it's just like all the reasons why you should feel guilty. So prepare yourself to feel guilty. So you want to homeschool? Are you prepared for all of the questions that will come from your family members, your neighbors, the cashier at the grocery store, the person at the park, whoever feels inclined or entitled to question you about your decision to homeschool your children? So how do they socialize? Do they know how to read? So what are you using to teach them to read? What about math? Are you going to teach them math also? Did you guys do school today? What are you guys doing home? Are you guys out of school today? Are you on some kind of break? Oh, you're homeschooled. You homeschool them? Oh, you teach them? Do you do all the teaching or does somebody else teach them? Are you a teacher? Were you a teacher? Just all of the questions that pops into people's little brains. Prepare yourself for the constant questioning of your decision. So you want to homeschool? Prepare yourself for the feelings of feeling underqualified. Now, if you're already a teacher and you're coming home from teaching and you're going to teach your own children, this may not apply to you. But it doesn't matter what type of degree you have, you just feel underqualified because in your mind, you think, I should have a teaching degree or a teaching certificate, or I don't know how to teach. I've never taught anybody anything, or I don't know how to teach my child how to read, or how do I teach my child how to do algebra, or whatever it is that you feel underqualified with. We all have those subjects that we struggled with in school. And so when that subject pops up on the radar, you instantly and suddenly start to feel underqualified. So prepare yourself to have the feelings of feeling underqualified. So you want to homeschool. Are you ready for the power struggles that are to come? The power struggles of your very, very willful 5-year-old refusing to do anything that you have requested of them for that day. Or your snarky teenager who feels like you have no idea what you're talking about anything. Who feels that Google knows way more than you could ever know about a particular subject. There will be power struggles from the time they're itty bitty to the time that they are big bitties. And that's just the nature of the game. Even when you send them out into the world or send them to public school, the teachers deal with power struggles. That's just how it goes. But are you prepared to deal with the power struggles of not only a tantrum because they didn't want to eat their vegetables, but also a tantrum because they don't want to write their name? All day kind of power struggles. It's those power struggles that you have to ask yourself, are you ready for? So you want to homeschool. Are you prepared for the days when you just want to be lazy and lay in your bed and watch TV or do nothing or whatever it is you did when your child was at school and you had the opportunity to do that, but now you can't? And why can't you? Because you'll feel guilty. That's why. So prepare yourself for those days where you just want to do nothing and you want you and your kids to just lay around and eat popcorn and just binge watch movies and Netflix. But in the back of your mind, your little guilty person is saying, but you need to do math, you need to do reading, you need to do this. And so you can't be lazy because your guiltiness won't let you be lazy. But you want to be lazy. So are you ready for not being lazy or wanting to be lazy, but feeling guilty about wanting to be lazy, or being lazy and feeling guilty for being lazy. So you want to homeschool. Are you ready for no days off? And when I say no days off, I mean Monday through Friday, you are now a teacher, along with whatever job responsibilities and duties you had. You are now a teacher, a guidance counselor, a school counselor, a therapist, cafeteria lady, and the list goes on and on and on. And then on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, you're whatever other job responsibilities you had, along with being the coach, the bus driver, the chaperone, and everything else, the field trip coordinator. There will be no days off. So are you prepared to no longer have any days off? As you can see, you guys, with that list, one could be like, do I want to homeschool? I'm not quite sure anymore. Well, if you still do, here are the things that you can also prepare yourself. Having the opportunity to watch your kids thrive. There is nothing like being able to witness that aha moment for your child. What we tend to be used to is the child goes to school, they learn a certain concept or a certain skill, and then they come home and they show it to us, and we get to see kind of the after joy, but we didn't necessarily get to see the moment when they got the concept. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's kind of like watching your child learn how to walk for the first time, watching them crawl, watching them sit up. You get to see all of these very first forever and ever. And so the first time they read that little sentence, you will be the person that is witnessing that and see that light bulb go off. The first time they get a math concept that comes together, the first science project that they put together, whatever it is, you are a part of all of those first. So once you see that first, all of those other things become so worth it. You will get to cater to their needs. So whatever your child's needs are, you have the ability now to cater to that need. You know, as a parent, what they need, what will help them thrive, what will help them learn, and now you have the ability to do it. You're not dependent on somebody else to take your advice and do it for you. So if you know your child needs to stand up to do their work, you can let them stand up to do their work. If you know your child needs complete silence to do their work, you can provide an environment that's completely silent. If they need to tap their pencil, whatever it is, you can cater to those particular needs, which is a huge blessing. The flexibility that you will have is one that cannot be taken away from. And quite frankly, I think is the biggest advantage of homeschooling. You are not tied down to someone else's schedule. You are not tied down to someone else's rules and regulations. You have the flexibility to come and go as you please. You have the flexibility to change curriculums mid-school year. You have the flexibility to teach curriculums you want to teach things within that curriculum that may get skimmed over in school, or to toss out some of the things that you don't necessarily want your child learning just yet. There's a huge amount of flexibility. If you are a family that loves to travel but can only travel during the summer when the school is out, well, now you can travel all year long. So now you're getting to take advantages of off seasons when things are slow and prices are lower and there's not going to be that many people there because everybody else is in school. You get to take advantage of museums and things like that where typically they would be crowded, but now they're not because everybody's at school. You have that flexibility to do more of what you want to do, which also leads into more control. Let's just face it, as parents, we like having control. We like it. And there's a part of us that gives up a little bit of that control when you send your child off to a public school or private school or wherever. Well, with homeschooling, you have all the control to teach what you want to teach, how you want to teach it, allow your child to learn the way they need to learn, the control to discipline how you feel might need to be disciplined or not to discipline. All of that is within your control. And so you now have all of the responsibility as well with that control. You know, with power comes great responsibility. The two goes hand in hand, so keep that in mind. So you want to homeschool. I would encourage you to find a group of people that are going to be open and honest and very transparent about what it is like to homeschool. Because sure, you did it for a couple months, couple weeks, you had help coming in from an outside person, and that is just not what traditional homeschooling looks like. I did a whole video over homeschooling versus schooling at home, so please check that out as well. But that is just not a reality of what traditional homeschooling looks like. So I would encourage you to find a group of community of people who are going to be honest and open with you. And then I will also encourage you to relax, and then also figure out why. I would encourage you to write down why you want to homeschool. What is your driving force? Because whatever that driving force is also going to determine how you deal with all of these things that come along as you are on this journey. If you know what your driving force is, if you know what your why and your reason is, it's going to help you get through all of the things that could be considered challenges, struggles, or difficult. So know your why. What is your why? Drop your why in the comments below. Why are you choosing to homeschool? I would love to know what your reason is. Hold you accountable to your why. You have it written down so you can always come back to, oh yeah, this is my why. This is why I'm doing that. So let me know what your why is. If you guys have any questions about any of this or any other subject around homeschooling, feel free to leave that below and we will chat about it on our next Sunday school. If you have not joined the family, hit the subscribe button, you guys, and join our little family. We're so welcoming around here. For the rest of my family, I love you guys and I will see you next time. Bye.